Good evening, Scorpio. Welcome, welcome. I'm reading about who's around you and why tonight. That's a feels like an obvious question. I guess you would know who's around you, but maybe you don't know why. Let's see through Kipper cards first and foremost to establish maybe who their motivations are and maybe the circumstances around why they would be around you. I'm gonna pull. Official person. I'm gonna shuffle some more before I pull another one. And we have one that came out. Lovers. I'm gonna draw the tarot right away. I'm thinking about this official person. I don't know if they're part of this couple. It's funny because I just did the Libra read and they had marriage with a couple on the marriage card, and they had mature woman as a separate individual, and it sort of feels the same kind of energy of it could be, this could be the person around you and specifying that you're interacting romantically with them with the Lovers card, but it could also mean that this person has is already coupled, or you could be already coupled, so it could be a love triangle, basically, is what I'm saying about having 1, 2, 3 people involved. First card out, 2 of Swords. Status quo. About what? I mean, it's obviously about this relationship. The Chariot, the decision around traveling. We have, wow, the Emperor and Justice. Emperor came out in reverse. It's really interesting. I'm going to stop there for now. For me, the Emperor is this official person because of the maturity I mean, just from the drawing, right? Also, implicitly, I'm thinking if they're official and they're so decorated here, like with this general or whatever, if it's, you know, it speaks of experience, right? So usually it comes with someone that is a tad older, something around, I don't know, over 30. I don't sense them to be any younger than 30. It's really interesting what I'm gonna say here. You have a decision, right? 2 of Swords. You have the 2 sphinxes here, and you have the 2 sides of the scale on the Justice card, as well as the 2 main pillars, right? They're not the pillars, the black and white pillars of the High Priestess, but There's a lot of basically dual energy here. So I'm wondering if, you know, we're talking about a love triangle, having to make a choice between two. I mean, this Emperor is in between the Chariot on one side and the Justice. It feels like the Emperor is debating, he's debating here whether he's gonna travel towards you. Maybe you could be this official person, right? You could be this Emperor wanting to go towards someone you love. You might have two choices, like two options. It could be read many ways, right? What I really enjoy about having the Justice card here, it feels that no matter what your decision is, it'll be the right decision. You can't go wrong. Karmically, it's gonna be what needs to happen for the highest good of all. So I wouldn't stress or worry too much about, you know, if you're making the right decision. I feel that, let's say you're this Emperor, let's say you're the official person, right? Wanting, or whether you have a choice to make between two people or whether you just have a choice to travel towards this person, it feels like you have to actually go somewhere, sort of to officialize the relationship. That's what it feels like with this official person, right? So at the moment, it feels like your decision, like the Emperor here is reversed, so it feels like the decision feels like it's not right, like it feels like a bad idea, like you could be, you know, making the wrong choice. It's what it feels like, but it's not, because Justice is upright. So this is like a higher truth, right? This is like somewhere up there, it's been decided anyway, kind of thing. If you believe in that at all, right? If not, it could be the decision to move forward with, you know, legalizing, officializing the relationship. So we could be talking about a marriage, of course. But there's a residual doubt coming from one party or the other. So I don't know if that would be you, if you are the official person or not. Either way, there's residual doubt on proceeding. And again, it boils down to this sort of, am I making the right choice? And it feels off, but it's not. It's not, because Justice is upright and the Lover's card is upright. The Lover's in the Kipper, right? You might attach less importance because it's a Kipper card, I don't know. I'm gonna say something, it's interesting, you know, because it's an old fashioned sort of deck, right? drawing from imagery from a past era, and the official person has a sword, right? Because he's military, and we have the swords here. It's funny, but I'm sensing that this person could be someone who likes, what is it called? Escrime in French. How do you say that? Fending, right? The Olympic sport of fending, is that what it's called in English? You know, you have all this costume, all white. You've got this sort of like special, like you look like an extraterrestrial white alien, and you have a sword that has that the tip is protected so that you don't really pierce the person. But it's a sport. It's a very difficult sport, actually. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about, so any sword wielding, like people who do Iaido, which is the art of the sword. The path of the sword, I should say. Anyway, that wouldn't apply to everyone, would it? It's just interesting to me. If it's not swords, someone might have artifacts, like sword artifacts in their house, right? That's a possibility as well. I don't know, I just sense like a fascination for what we call, in French we say arme blanche. It means, it's, if I translate literally, it's called white weapons. It just means all the blades, right? That was a total digression. I want to say one last thing, Scorpio, before I draw the advice. There's a lot of love. We sense it, of course, here on the Lover's card on the Kipper, right? It's less apparent in the tarot that there's love. The tarot cards are showing a much more intellectualized decision here. Like, it's really interesting. Like, the tarot is like giving us a viewpoint that is much more mental, like intellect, like a. So I don't know if it's your own like energy at the moment. Like, are you being very analytical, like very looking at it, like rationalizing it, right? Instead of just feeling it. There's something about that. And I think that's why the Emperor is in reverse, actually. I think that's why the decision feels off, because you'd be like trying to make a decision like based on facts and like really just like the best choice possible, right? Like analyzing the pros and the cons, whatever the technique you use, or but you would like try to not primarily go with your heart, which I think especially in a love relationship could be maybe not a good idea. But if it does involve maybe something legal, I understand why you would, you know, take your time or look at it that way as well, right? Not just, you know, blindly based on passion, you know. Okay, I get 2 cards of advice for you. Let's see. So trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. Interesting. And humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. I like that. It kind of reminds me of what I was just saying to you about, you know, there's something you're unaware of, and I think it's because you're aware that you're making a big decision. You're unaware that it's the right one. You feel like it's off, but it's not. You should really trust here, and maybe humbly accept, allow the greater order to operate. I find it promising. I think that it's just confusing, but I think there's like, this looks marvelous, right? Granted, it's not a love triangle. It's a possibility, but it's not as strong as in the Libra reading. It's a possibility, but I think it's more, in your case, I think it's more relating to how you feel, how you intellectualize, rationalize versus, you know, going the spiritual route. Anyway, enough said. So if you enjoyed the video, if it resonated, share, subscribe, but like as well, and come back. I'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.